Hi, I'm Pattu from freefincal. Today, let's talk about a question asked by another reader. I'm having SIPs in Nifty 50 and Nifty Next 50 index funds. Shall I start an SIP in Nifty Midcap 150 because it would give me wider market coverage? Um, on on the superficial level, it looks like that's a good idea because if you hold a Nifty Next 50, and Nifty Midcap 150, you're basically holding the top 250 stocks in the NSE, and there's zero overlap between the three funds. And that seems like a good idea, but like I have been saying for a long time, the Nifty Next 50 is not really a large cap fund, and its risk profile and return profile are very similar to that of the Nifty Midcap 150 itself. So let's take a look at the SIP returns for the last few years and see what we can learn from it. So if you had started the SIPs in these indices 10 years ago, your return today would be 9.9% from Nifty 50, 10.97 from Nifty Next 50, Nifty 100 would have given you 10.1%, Nifty Midcap would have given you 12.5%, and Nifty Small Cap would have given you 8.1%. So it looks like Nifty Midcap 150 has kind of won here. But if you actually look at the evolution of the SIP, this is the growth in the SIP value. There's not much of a difference, and except for a few months where the black line, which is the Nifty Midcap 150, has gone up, there's really not much of a difference between the black line and the red line. The red line is the Nifty Next 50. So it's basically a matter of when you decide to look at it. If you look at 15-year SIP returns, Nifty has given you 10.2%, Nifty Next 50 is 12.1%, Nifty 100 10.5%, Nifty Midcap 12.5%, and Nifty Small Cap 8.8%. Again, notice the poor performance of the Nifty Small Cap 250, and notice that there's not much of a difference in the returns between the Nifty Next 50 and the Midcap 150. Over 20 years, Nifty would have given you 13.4%, Nifty Next 50 14.7%, Nifty 100 12.8%, Nifty Midcap 12.6%, and Nifty Small Cap 9%. So over a 20-year period, it's astounding that the Nifty 100 has been able to beat the Nifty Midcap 150. Not by much, but see, what you should look at here is people make all sort of statements like investing in mid caps would give you more returns in the long term, investing in small caps would give you more returns. That's not true at all, because it depends on what mid caps you invest in, what small caps you invest in. You can't simply blindly buy the index. When it comes to large caps, you can blindly buy the index because they are established companies. And again, there's not much of a difference. Okay, I can say over 20 years Nifty Next 50 has bet the Midcap 150, but that's a little childish to do. Again, there's not much of a difference between the two indices. So one thing is very, very clear. Please don't invest in Nifty Small Cap 250. There's really no benefit. You're getting 8-9% for the excessive risk that you're taking. There's no commensurate reward. An SIP over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years has not been able to beat the Nifty. So it's just a waste of time and money. Don't do it. I have previously also said don't do SIPs in active small cap funds also. I have also mentioned a method of timing the market with small caps. If you are interested in small caps, I generally don't recommend small caps. It's not necessary. But if you are interested, you can have a look at the post today for an article on backtesting. So there's no real extra benefit that you're going to get by adding the Nifty Midcap 150. You might as well simply stick to Nifty Next 50 and Nifty 50. I have said this many times before, but still people ask me, why can't I just invest in Axis Nifty 100? I have said this because showing rolling returns and risk. You can see previous videos. See, Nifty 100 is basically 80 to 90% of Nifty and the rest of Nifty Next 50. If 10 to 20% allocation to Nifty Next 50 is all that you want, then one mutual fund will do it for you, Axis Nifty 100. But if you want more of Nifty Next 50, I'm not saying you should invest more of Nifty Next 50, but if that's what you want to do, then you have to have two index funds for that, not ETFs, index funds for that, and those two alone are more than enough. It will get you all the kind of risk and reward kind of potential of mid caps, small caps, everything. So Nifty Next 50 is just what you need because of the way in which our markets are designed. Our markets, the liquidity is very poor. Just a few stocks from Nifty 50 have high liquidity. If you go from the top 50 to the next 50, there's a huge increase in the impact cost, so it's very difficult to sell large quantities of such stocks. So because of that unique nature of the Indian market, that's the reason why Nifty Next 50 acts like a mid-capish kind of index. If you compare this with the S&P 500, many people make the mistake of saying S&P 500, the corresponding index is Nifty 500. That's just nonsense. S&P 500 is 500 large cap stocks, whereas Nifty 500 contains 50 stocks from Nifty, 50 stocks from Nifty Next 50, 150 stocks from mid cap, and 250 stocks from small cap. That's basically the entire market. Nifty 500 is basically the entire market, but because it's large cap weighted, it would not be very different. The returns would not be very different from that of Nifty 100 or Nifty 50. So that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Bye bye.